Hi, good afternoon everyone. I am John Mark Gamboa, and today I'll be presenting on hepatitis viruses. Ipapaliwanag ko dito or ipipresent ko sa inyo yung basic overview ng transmission, sign and symptoms, paano siya gamutin, and yung prevention sa hepatitis viruses. So let's get started. Let's define first what is hepatitis. So hepat means liver and itis means inflammation. Basically, it is liver inflammation or inflammation of liver. Sabi dito, hepatitis is defined as inflammation of the liver that can cause from various causes. It includes infectious agents like viruses, yon yung viruses na itatakal natin mamaya, and non-infectious factors such as certain drugs and toxin. So, namamaga yung liver natin primarily by infectious agents like viruses and also yung mga unhealthy habits natin gaya ng pag-iinom and pagte-take ng medications ay nakakaapekto rin sa pamamaga or sa health, sa overall health ng ating liver. So this condition can lead to liver damage and affects its function. Hepatitis can be caused by viral infections na itatakal natin ngayon, which are hepatitis A, B, C, D, and yung bago na E, and can progress to more severe liver conditions if not managed, kagaya ng cirrhosis or liver cancer. Here are the hepatitis viruses, the list of viruses na ipapaliwanag ko ngayon. Hepatitis virus A, B, C, D, E, and G. So yung iba rito sa gawing dulo, yung hepatitis G, medyo bago lang siya and wala pa masyadong pag-aaral sa kanya kung ano ba yung nagiging epekto sa katawan natin. So, and other viruses that can cause liver inflammation, kagaya na sinabi ko sa introduction kanina. These are yellow fever virus, Epstein-Barr, cytomegalovirus, and etc. So, mag-proceed na tayo sa hepatitis A. So, short description lang tayo sa hepatitis A. It is a virus, typically enterovirus, classified in Picornaviridae family. So, enterovirus meaning sa loob, so sa loob ng katawan natin. And it has a single-stranded RNA, kagaya ng andito sa image, and it replicates in the cytoplasm of cell. It was originally designated as enterovirus 72, pero eventually naging ano siya, prototype siya ng new genus na hepatovirus, which is pasok siya sa may hepatitis. And it has only one serotype, and there is no antigenic relationship to hepatitis B virus, or other hepatitis viruses. And ito lang yung nag-iisang classification or variant ng hepatitis na pwedeng makultivate in vitro. But isolation is possible but difficult, as it is not possible to grow virus routinely from feces of patients. So, medyo mahirap siyang i-isolate. And next, saan ba natin siya makukuha? It, it causes infectious hepatitis pala, and HAV or hepatitis A virus is transmitted by oral route or oral fecal, fecal oral route. Often, um, it is often from contaminated food or water. Kapag madumi or contaminated ng virus yung tubig natin and yung pagkain na nai-intake ng katawan. The virus multiplies in the intestinal epithelium. So, as the name suggests, or eto, ano siya, enterovirus siya, di ba? So, nandun siya sa may intestine natin. And it reaches the liver by hematogenous spread. And sa may dugo, nandun siya sa may intestine natin, sasama siya sa bloodstream, and eventually mapupunta siya sa liver na masasala siya sa liver. And next, infections occur in following two stages. We have two stages here: the prodromal stage or pre-icteric stage and the icteric stage. The first stage is characterized by fever, anorexia, nausea, and vomiting. Ito parang ano siya, parang una siyang symptoms na lumalabas kapag meron kang hepatitis A. Ang next naman nito, kapag nawala siya, ang susunod na stage dito is the icteric stage. It is characterized by jaundice. Yung jaundice, yung naninilaw yung eyes, yung balat natin. Kasi, di ba nagpa-process ng bile yung liver natin, and yung bilirubin na yon yung nagko-cause ng color brown sa stool ng tao. Kapag naapektuhan ng hepatitis A yung liver, maapektuhan nun yung function ng liver na mag-process ng bilirubin or ng bile. Ngayon, hindi mailalabas ng katawan natin ng maayos yun, and ayun, parang kakalat siya. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng jaundice or naninilaw yung katawan natin. So, in short, onting recap lang tayo sa hepatitis A. Yung transmission niya is fecal-oral, enterovirus siya. So, sa intestine natin. Nakuha siya by contaminated food and water. Ang infection niya is acute lang. Acute yung infection niya. Kaya, kahit wala siyang gamot, kahit walang gamot, hindi siya kinakailangan ng gamot. Pahinga-pahinga lang or kaya na siya ng katawan natin. Signs and symptoms. Asymptomatic siya minsan. And if may symptoms naman tayo, pwede kang makaramdam ng gastrointestinal symptoms. Kasi nga, nasa bituka natin siya. Next is jaundice, dark urine, and clay-colored stool kasi nga hindi makapag-process na maayos yung liver natin. Joint pain, fever, and fatigue. Sa diagnostic naman, meron tayong serological testing. And sa treatment, no medication needed kasi acute infection lang siya. Sa preventive measure naman, may available na vaccine dito na sinasaksak sa atin kapag nagkaroon tayo ng sakit nito. So, kapag nasaksakan tayo ng vaccine na yon, magiging immune na tayo sa hepatitis. And next, yung sanitation. Kailangan natin malinis yung paligid natin and sanitized or hygienic yung kinakain natin and yung pagpe-prepare ng food and water natin. Next naman yung hepatitis B. Ito mas deadly siya na uri ng hepatitis kasi nagre-range yung ano niya, yung nagre-range siya sa acute and chronic infections. So, ito lang naman yung short description niya. Next, ito, inside the core is a genome. Ito, dito pinapakita kung paano siya, yung structure niya and kung paano siya nakakapag nakakapag-cause ng sakit. So, kagaya ng hepatitis A, kung makukulture ba siya, ang sagot dyan is no. HBV cannot be cultivated in vitro. Virus and its protein can be obtained from cell lines transfected with HBV DNA. But yung proteins nito, pwede siyang maklone sa yeast and bacteria. So, isang way yun para maparami and mapag-aralan yung virus na to. Next, clinical features of serum hepatitis B. Its onset is slow, mabagal kumalat sa katawan natin yung hepatitis na to. Fever is less common and low of grade. Jaundice is rare in children but often seen in adults. Extra hepatic manifestations are common. This includes rash, arthralgia, polyarteritis nodosa, glomerulonephritis, and serum sickness. Next, ang marami dito, mga bata ang tinatamaan ng hepatitis B. Munti ko nang makakalimutan pala kung paano siya na-obtain. So, hepatitis B is spread through blood. Yun na nga, hepatitis B, yun isa natin. Or B is for blood, sexual contact, and from mother to child. So, basically, bodily fluid siya. Hepatitis B can become chronic. So, chronic HPV infection can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer. But merong available na vaccine sa kanya. Effective siya, effective vaccine. And aside doon, meron tayong two types ng carrier. We have the super carrier. It is highly infectious. It shows presence of HBeAg or yung antigens nito, and the simple carriers. More common show no HBe antigens and low level of HBs antigens in blood. HBV and its DNA polymerase in blood is absent. So, hindi siya masyadong nakakapag-infect ng iba. And paano naman magagamot yung hepatitis B? There is no specific antiviral treatment, but meron tayong vaccination and itong interferon alpha. It can be or it may be beneficial in some chronic cases. Immunization, passive immunization. By injecting human serum globulin or yung ano kanina, H HSGA, ito ba? H ano pala, HBsAg pala tawag doon. Ayun. And yung level ng effectiveness or protection na makukuha mo sa globulin na yun is nakadepende sa dami or sa volume na i-inject sa katawan mo. And short recap lang, transmission ng hepatitis B is from blood, bodily fluid, unprotected sex, and IV drugs. Infection causes niya is acute and chronic. Signs and symptoms, katulad lang siya ng hepatitis A. Diagnostic test, mostly serological lang siya. Sa treatment naman, if acute, wala nang kailangan ng medication. If chronic naman, meron tayong antiviral and yung etong interferon na to. Sa preventive measures naman, we have the vaccine and sanitation or hygiene, proper hygiene, safety precaution. Yun lang, kagaya lang siya ng hepatitis A. Yung preventive measures na to, applicable siya sa lahat ng uri ng hepatitis na i-discuss ko. Next is the hepatitis C. So, short description lang, it shows considerable genetic and antigenic diversity. 6 different genotypes and many subtypes have been identified pero hindi na natin palalalimin. Next. The clinical features of this hepatitis C virus is it has an incubation period of 5 to 12 weeks. So, medyo matagal siya sa katawan natin. Majority of cases are asymptomatic and clinically the disease is less severe with milder symptoms. Ito, jaundice is absent or less marked. Hindi kagaya ng A at B na visible talaga yung jaundice. And about 50 to 80% ng patient ay nagde-develop ng chronic hepatitis and slowly progressive liver damage. Ito medyo delikado siya kasi mas malala na tong stage and magkukos siya ng liver damage such as cirrhosis or yung parang sugat and liver cancer. Clinically, it may remain silent for years or even decades. Ito, yung cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinoma may develop after 20 to 30 years, so medyo matagal talaga siya. And nakikita natin sa picture na to kung paano nakukuha yung hepatitis C. Kagaya ng sa mga nauna, by blood, sexual contact. So, mainly, bloodborne yung contact or yung infection ng hepatitis C. And treatment naman, kagaya ng hepatitis B, meron tayong interferon. And yeah, maybe useful siya. Prophylaxis, no vaccine is available. Kaya ginagamit lang natin yung interferon. And general control measures against HBV are applicable to HCV, which includes safe blood and safe injection. So parang magkakamukha lang sila. And recap ulit, transmission niya is by blood, bodily fluid, sex, unprotected sex, IV drugs, and unsafe medical practices, if you will. Infection causes are acute but mostly chronic. Medyo mas matindi siya. Signs and symptoms, kagaya lang ng hepatitis A and B. Sa diagnostic testing naman, meron din tayong serological testing dito. And sa treatment, meron tayong available na antiviral, though wala tayong vaccine. Pwede natin siya maiwasan by proper sanitation and hygiene, post-exposure immune globulin. So, kapag nagkaroon ka nito, pwede kang kumuha ng post-exposure immune globulin. Next is the hepatitis B. Short description lang, HDV was considered as defective virus. So, eto, kakaiba siya kasi dependent siya na hepatitis variant. It is considered as a satellite hepatitis B virus. It was detected in Italy and named the Delta agent on 1977. Bakit siya naging dependent? So, mag-o-occur lang siya kapag or magte-take effect lang yung hepatitis na to kung mayroong hepatitis B yung person or yung tao. So, kapag walang hepatitis B yung tao, wala siya, hindi siya mag-o-occur. Walang So, para mabilis natin maintindihan, lahat ng may hepatitis D ay may hepatitis B. But hindi lahat ng may hepatitis B ay may hepatitis D, if that makes sense. Properties of virus. It consists of single-stranded small circular molecule of RNA genome and a delta G, and it replicates in the nucleus of infected cells, and it never appears with this antigen, HBsAg. So, kapag napasok na yung cell ng victim niya, doon siya magre-replicate sa nucleus mismo. So, mag-i-interfere siya sa may DNA replication ng cell na yon. Ganun siya nagpaparami. And clinical features, it has 2 to 12 weeks of incubation period. Hepatitis B virus infection results in hepatitis of increased severity than the HBV infection. Pinapalala niya yung infection ng hepatitis V. And short recap lang ulit. It is transmitted by blood, bodily fluid, unprotected sex or unsafe sex, IV drugs, and it only occurs with hepatitis B virus. So dependent siya sa hepatitis B. And it can causes acute and chronic infections kasi nga pinapalala niya yung effect ng hepatitis B. Sign and symptoms kagaya lang ng mga nauna. Diagnostic testing, these serological testings, HD, AG, anti-HDV, and the treatment. Yung treatment nito, pwedeng gamitin yung treatment ng hepatitis B. Kasi nga, nakadepende lang yung hepatitis D na to sa hepatitis B. Preventive measures naman dito, proper sanitation and hygiene, post-exposure immune globulin. Next, the hepatitis E. So, hepatitis E virus belongs to the family of Calciviridae and genus Calcivirus. And it has a incubation period of 2 to 8 weeks. Clinically, the disease resembles hepatitis A. Kamukha siya ng hepatitis A and mas mild lang siya and self-limited and hindi siya nagli-leak sa chronic hepatitis. So, acute lang siya. Fulminant hepatitis is rare except in pregnant women. Pero ano dito, medyo risky to sa mga buntis na babae kasi pwede rin mahawa dito yung mga anak nila kahit acute lang yung infection. And it is predominantly a disease of young populations sa mga youth or mas medyo bata. It's usually occur in the form of explosive outbreaks but may also occur in endemic or sporadic form. And ano siya, health problem siya sa mga developing countries kagaya ng Pilipinas, yung ibang part ng Southeast Asia, such like Indonesia and Myanmar. And additionally, fecal oral yung transmission niya. And ano siya, delikado siya sa pregnant women kagaya na sinabi ko kanina dahil it can cause fulminant hepatitis. And paano natin ba siya maiiwasan? Wait lang. Ito, diagnostic muna pala. Direct demonstration of virus particles in feces using monoclonal ABS under the electron microscope. And etong diagnostic na to, serological diagnosis lang ginagawa nito para malaman na may hepatitis E ka. So, ito yung recap natin. transmission, fecal oral kagaya ng hepatitis A. Kagaya din nito, it can cause only acute infections. Signs and symptoms kagaya ng hepatitis A but mild, mas mild siya. Yung treatment niya, diagnostic testing kagaya lang ng ng mga nakaraang hepatitis, yung mga hepatitis A, B, C, and D. Preventive measures, same lang din sila. Next is the hepatitis G. Itong hepatitis G na to, yung parang pinakabagong variant ng hepatitis. So, it is a new flavivirus-like agent isolated from a patient with chronic hepatitis noong 1994. So, bago-bago pa lang siya. It is also known as human pagivirus 1 or HPGV1. It is a blood-borne virus that typically does not cause significant liver damage. Hindi pa masyadong alam ng mga scientists yung pinaka-role niya or yung pinaka-effect niya sa katawan natin. And this agent is different from HCV and its name HGV. It is a RNA virus. Sorry. The pathogenicity naman, the virus enters the body through blood transfusion and by other parent, parenteral routes. HGV RNA has been found in patients with acute, chronic, and fulminant hepatitis. So, makikita siya sa hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E. But its role in hepatitis is not clear. Hindi siya kagaya ng hepatitis D na napag-alaman na nakaka-epekto sa severity ng virus na epekto ng hepatitis B. So the virus has also been found in hemophiliacs, patients with multiple transfusion, blood donors, and intravenous drug users. So mostly sa merong hepatitis G, nag-occur lang siya or natatransmit siya through blood transfusion and bodily fluids. And this can occur through various means including intravenous drug use sa ugat natin, sharing needles or other drug paraphernalia, blood transfusion kapag nagpapasalin ka ng dugo, sexual contact, and perinatal transmission kapag nanganganak yung mother. Pwede niyang mahawahan yung anak niya. And lastly, symptoms and effect. Most individuals infected with hepatitis G do not exhibit symptoms or asymptomatic. When symptoms occur, they may include fatigue, nausea, abdominal pain, and jaundice. So, overall, hindi siya same ng severity ng mga naunang hepatitis variant. And to summarize lahat ng variants ng hepatitis viruses, nagkakaiba lang sila in transmission, chronicity if acute ba or chronic, and clinical impact sa epekto nito sa health mismo natin. Some are short-term infections, yung mga acute, while others can cause lifelong diseases and even cancer, kagaya ng mga chronic. And prevention through vaccination, sanitation, pagiging malinis lang natin sa paligid and sa kinakain natin, and safe safe medical practice is essential dahil may mga hepatitis na pwedeng makuha through intravenous or mga ginagamit natin sa ugat-ugat natin kapag nagpapasalin ng dugo and yung kapag nanganganak yung mother. And that conclude my report for short descriptions on different hepatitis viruses.